thanks for coming back. I know we said that earlier, but I'm really excited to have you back on. And I just feel like this is just way more comfortable than when we were at Soulshine.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've both just grown so much. It's really cool to see.
Oh, I appreciate that, but I feel like you're an Olympian way ahead of me, and I'm just like, look at her go. I mean, I'm just so excited to talk about what you've been doing because CMT named you one of the 5 artists to watch. With Russell Dickerson, which he's freaking, have you heard his stuff?
Yes, I made a point to go and like stalk all of the other artists because, I mean, all of us have been on, it's such a process to get noticed and to get that spot. So we've all deserved it. I haven't met any of the other artists.
It's a huge deal to be on that list. And
I completely agree.
I mean, you knew my thoughts because I texted you. I was just like, about time they knew.
I know.
But, I mean, I'm just so glad because, I found out about you through Mama Sue.
Yeah.
And so then met Jenny. So it was really cool to have that all together and, be able to have you on.
Right. It's been great.
Yeah, I mean, so, today we're going to talk about a lot. We did your What Shanna Thinks, so viewers will be able to watch that as well. You're going to perform.
Right.
And so, when you came into Nashville, so we're in a process now because you, before you got here, let's look back a little bit. Do you remember where you were the first time that you performed?
My first performance, I performed at my church in Tallahassee, Alabama. So,
What song did you sing?
It was Amazing Grace.
Ooh, good song.
Yeah, and I knew all of the words. Like, that's a moment, because your girl forgets things a lot. But yeah, I was doing it with my granddad, and I think I was like 3 or 4. Like, I was a baby.
That's awesome.
I was really little, but it was all in our little family genes to sing, so it was just what we did.
And I know you're older now, so it's hard to remember back then when you were so little, but do you remember what you're feeling? Do you remember you thought, man, this went really well, or did you think, oh, this was bad?
No, I was just always supported by my church family and friends and family, so I never felt like anything went bad. I would always get nervous, and my granddad he told me at an early age, he was like, if you don't get nervous, that means you don't care. So the moment that you're not nervous, that's when you need to worry. But when you are nervous, then you're good. And then it always went away, right when I started to sing. But the moments before, I would always be just not nervous to the point of being sick or anything. Just I cared. I cared what people, I wanted some people to feel something and relate to what I was going to say. So.
Well, and I love that because it's such a true point. I mean, I think I even remember hearing Bruce Springsteen gets nervous before he goes.
Yeah.
And he says, if I'm not nervous, then something's wrong.
Yeah.
So, that's a really good thing. And you're talented. So, I mean, I know I'm always like, go Shanna. But so, okay. So, those were moments leading up to now. So when did you decide that you wanted to move to Nashville?
It was when I was on the Glee project, I decided this because I didn't I loved living in LA. Mm-hmm. I just didn't like that music wasn't the center of it. Mm-hmm. And for me, someone who wanted my roots to be in music, I knew that I needed to move somewhere where music would be the center of what I was doing, the focus of my career. So through that, I realized that about the second week of Glee project, and I was there for 14 weeks. So that whole time was an awesome, just laid out time just to pray about it. And I did. And at the end of it, I was like, okay, Nashville's where I'm going. So that's what led me here.
Yeah. And I mean, that's so funny because you sang Glee project. I think I told you last time, my sister watched that, and she freaking loves you.
Yeah.
She watched your secret interview 14 times, and she told my mom, he mentioned me. I thought it was so funny. So Mackenzie's probably going to watch this as many times. But that's really cool. Because, I mean, I think when you're in LA, you can kind of get caught up in it all, just think, wow, this is so great. But you're a musician, and you need to be where musicians are.
Yeah, I mean, LA's vibe is just way different from what I wanted to do too. So I mean, it wasn't the right fit, and to be realistic and to truly sell your product, you have to be realistic in what you want to achieve, and I don't think LA was the right fit for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're in Nashville.
Yeah, me too.
Well, so you moved to Nashville, and when you came, who were some of the first people that you met? Some writers, some singers?
Yeah, I was very blessed to pretty much initially my manager, Jenny Bowler, who...
Rock star.
I mean, incredible. She's amazing, and she got on board with my ideas, and I'm a worker bee. I love to work. I love to go sit in writing rooms and just listen through catalogs of music and find that killer song. And so I was kind of proving myself to Jenny, and in doing so, she was setting up appointments and meetings, and she set up 2. I don't even know if she knew she did this in the same week, but I met Pat Alger, who has now become one of my writing mentors. Wow. I mean, he's just a legend. If you're a Garth Brooks fan, I mean, Thunder Rolls, and the list goes on.
It's a good song.
Yeah. And so has continued to be my writing mentor this whole time I've been here since then. So we've been writing together for about 2 years.
Wow.
And then also I got dinner with Reba, and that was just great because she's all about helping and giving back, like her knowledge, and she realizes that knowledge is power, and she shares it, you know, like she doesn't keep anything. So that was a really good week for me.
Oh yeah, Reba, man.
Yeah.
Wow, those are definitely some high moments. Yeah, so yeah, I definitely agree. That's really cool that you met Reba, because you know she's just a very strong performer for a female, and I think females are really coming together right now because they're changing. There's a lot of bro country out there, and there needs to be more females. So I think it's great that she's helping, because
we need it.
Well, you do. And I love female voice, so I'm always an advocate for the females.
I know. Well, it's good. I mean, it's kind of like the thing that nobody wants to talk about, but where are the ladies at?
Yes. you have a few, but we need more.
We have a few. We need more. We need more, and it's people like Reba and Dolly Parton and all of these, and Kelsey Ballerini, who's like a current lady who is opening the doors for us. Like, it's important, and it's important to talk about. So
I agree. Yeah. Well, I think you're definitely making waves in country music.
Oh, you girls
you're right. I think you are, and it's just it's such a process. And speaking, it's challenging. But when did you decide that you thought? I think that this is going to happen for me. I think I want to do this full time, because I'm sure it's scary.
Well, it's never, like, music makes sense to me, so it's never been something. What's scary isn't actually, like, free falling into the music world. What's scary is, like, having that notion in your mind that you may not get paid for what you're doing.
True.
That's the scary part.
That's the scary part.
Because you can go out and sing, and you can go out and tweet your little fanny off, but you don't get paid for that.
You sure don't.
Like, the scary part for me is making a living, and the people who are supporting me to make sure they're making a living. That's the scary thing, and it's so cool to see so many people believe in my vision, and people to put in just as much hard work as I am, because those are the people I'm going to be loyal to too. So that, once I had like all of these just rock stars behind me, whenever I'm having a low day, I'm just like, I can't have a low day. Like, I have these awesome people supporting me, whether it be my musicians or it be my manager, my attorney, like all these people, so that was probably my turning moment, when it's like, I can do this, is when I realized that other people believe in me just as much as I believe in myself. And I believe in myself a lot. Yeah. So, yeah.
And you're right too, because, lately things are just really going the right direction. We mentioned CMT. Yeah. What was that like? We should just pause, because that is a big moment. What was that like to see your video on CMT?
I was at home. We knew what time it was gonna go, and so I was at home with my dogs. I live by myself, and I have 2 dogs, and I got some ramen, and I had some Sprite, and I fed the dogs, and we just sat and watched, and I cried, because I don't know why I cried, actually. I'm not a big crier, but I think I do know why. I think it was because I was a little girl that watched CMT, and it was just like, it was really cool to see that on TV, and to know that there were other like little girls and little guys like watching and probably thinking the same thing that I was. So it was a surreal moment. It was really cool, and My dogs loved it too.
Yeah.
So
Who did you call? Were you just like, this is all right, so fuck TV?
Well, my whole family was like waiting to watch it too. So I called my grandmother and my aunt, and I called Jenny. I mean, literally, like my normal, like on my favorite list. I called all of them, and it was a day. Like, it was very, very, very cool. A lot of support from all my like close friends and family, and then like my friend acquaintances on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's all like a picture and they like it. So I don't know. It was really cool.
That is cool.
I'm still on a CMT high.
Yeah. I mean, you're just blowing up the world. So I watched that video like 12 million times because I think, it should be shared. It should be watched. And the process, because I remember watching the video and knowing you, I thought that is her life.
Yeah.
What was it like making that video?
I sat down with the director and told him that I wanted vignettes from my life, and I didn't really care if it didn't make sense to people. Because at this point in my career, I'm not signed to a label, so I was like, I have all creative control. So I wanted to do something that would make sense to me and use real life things that happen in real life characters. And even if some of them kind of turned into more of a metaphor in the music video, I wanted it to come from a real place. And so he like totally believed the vision, and we went from there. So each vignette is actually like completely pulled from a story from my childhood, my high school time, and like all of these different little things. So any questions you have about that, I can tell you all the things. But it was good. I emotionally prepared for that music video, so I wasn't like traumatized or anything by unraveling like all of this stuff I had dealt with a long time ago. But it was a very cool process to be able to share that.
Well, I almost feel like you were, and I'm sure this is what you were trying to encapsulate, was you were walking who you are today, looking back on the journey to got you where you are. And I just thought that was such a great picture. And I don't, anybody watching that, I think it's great to say where you've come from doesn't matter, but who you're becoming along the way. Right. Because you can't really control what happens around you. You can only control yourself.
Exactly. No, that was exactly the theme of that, is to embrace the hard times, because they are going to get you where you're supposed to be. And also, like, don't be afraid to share your story. We all have history.
Yeah, well, you shared it and you did a good job, because that's good. It's a great song. And
thank you.
And I love the song, and I really want to talk to you about, I know you're in the middle of getting a CD together and, writing some new material. How do you know when you have a special song?
I think for me, whether I'm writing the song or I'm listening to amazing songwriters and their songs and I'm being pitched songs, for me, the song has to have something that truly resonates and relates to me, because as the type of artist I want to be is an artist that sings stories of my truth that can be shared, and hopefully people can find some type of relatability to it, because that's what helps me like make sense of all the bad things that have happened in my past, is to be able to share and hopefully help someone in doing so. So that when I'm writing music and when I'm listening to music, I'm always like listening not only for just a cool beat and like a vibe, like I hear that, but I'm always listening to the lyrics first. That's my first thing, is I want it to share a really cool story. Like, I don't want to just talk about love. Like, I've had my heart broken, but I've had my heart broken in many different ways. So I want to be able to share that in a cool story.
So deep.
We jumping in the ocean.
Well, I love it.
Real deep.
I think that's such a great quality.
Wasn't supposed to go.
And it's the people need someone who's positive, who's encouraging, and someone who's stronger from the things that they've been through, because a lot of the times people feel alone. Right. So I love that you are empowering people.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping to do. Even if it's just one person. I don't care about how many followers I have on Twitter, Instagram, as long as there's just one person that is getting something out of my music, then it's all worth it. And that's a great point. And I think a lot of people need to realize that, because I think we're in a day where social media runs our lives, where we think, I don't have enough likes on the photo. I think that sometimes, but I'm like, what are you? Check it. Right. So exactly.
But and speaking of the journey, like in the song, when you're walking back and looking at your life, like for instance, for you today, say you're walking back and looking on the road you've been on. If you could tell yourself one thing, your past self one thing, what would it be?
Learn to let go sooner, Shanna. I'm still learning that. I don't know. I especially as a kid, like one of my greatest like things about me, and one of also like my greatest flaws was I had this amazing memory of things.
Wow.
And like I would remember like just down to the day what this person was wearing, how they treated me in a positive way, a negative way. But in doing so, it would, I wasn't able to let go. You know, I wasn't able to truly let go of, I didn't learn forgiveness because of that. Like that was the root of so many other things.
Yeah.
And when I was able to truly learn to let go, like I don't know, I became better.
Yeah. And there's so much freedom in letting go. You know, a lot of the times you think, I've got to remember these things because I'm like you, I have a good memory. But I mean, sometimes you just like, you know, you think, oh, I'm still mad at that person. But the freedom and just letting it all go.
Yeah. I mean, fall is like the perfect image of that because it's like the leaves. They've had all of the like spring and summer to get to where they are, and you don't see them like clenching onto the tree. You know, they fall. They let it go. You know, like they fall down. It's that's so like
such
artsy thing to say. But
yeah, no, it's
during
true.
the fall, I always look and I'm like, y'all worked so hard, man. You little leaves, and now you're just going. You know,
and they're so pretty from it all.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah.
That's a really good way to look at it. I'm going to look at trees a little differently now, and I'm sure everybody else will. But that's a great point. And, you know, we talked about a lot of stuff today, but can you share with the viewers, myself, what's coming up? What else is happening?
Yeah. Well, my main thing is I'm looking for new songs, and I'm also writing new songs to complete a CD, an album. And then also we're going in and pitching to major labels. That's a big thing for me is I really want to get on a major label. Yeah. That's the goal of 2016. And then I also have some other projects in the works. I am working on a musical with Pat Alger. And so the songs it's a country musical. The songs are definitely more like radio friendly. Think like Civil Wars meets Dixie Chicks.
Ooh, a good one. I like that.
Yeah, so it's different, but it's all like radio friendly, and that's really cool to be a part of that. And I have 3 shows coming up here in Nashville, so you'll have to come out to those.
I will. We need to get people there from watching this as well, and we'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
But yeah, look at you rocking the world.
Doing things.
I know, and you know, the one thing I really enjoyed, I know you have such a passion for animals, and you know, you have things going on, like you have a GoFundMe right now, or it probably end by the time we have this out, but
well, my dog was in like a terrible accident, and he ruptured his C4 vertebrae and while he was jumping up in the air, and then he landed and it compressed down on his spinal cord. Wow. So he wasn't able to breathe, and he was probably about an hour away from dying, and they did emergency surgery over at Nashville Veterinarian Specialists on Sidco Drive. I will forever love them so much. But they did emergency surgery, put him on life support for about a day, and then he was in the ICU for a week. He still can't walk right now, but he is home. Good. And with a spinal cord injury, it's all about letting the nerves heal. And I am having to do 24-hour care with him, so it's every 4 hours he has to be flipped and fed and watered, and watered like a plant. And so it's interesting. It's really cool, and I was telling my grandmother the other day, I was like, it's such a cool thing to care for something or someone who can't care for itself. Because if I weren't there for him right now, even though he's like better, he wouldn't be here. You know, like he can't get up to go eat or. So that opened up a side of my heart I didn't even know existed, because I don't have a significant other. Yeah. I don't have kids, you know, like it's just me and my music and dogs. So they're my babies, but I do have a very big heart. So I'm very involved now with NBS over at Sidco, and
I've seen your photos, and I think that's great. It's good to be, you know, a lot of people sing, but not a lot of people have something that drives them, and I think that's such a great cause that you're behind. So
For sure.
Well, I have one final question.
Okay.
Get ready. Stretch it out. Okay. Shanna Henderson.
Yes.
What is your epic dream?
Well, if I can incorporate singing and my past with involving like everything that I've gone through with my mother and father and be able to encourage younger generations to break free of society's boundaries that they've placed on them, to be free to do whatever and to be whomever, to understand that they are not bound to their parents' decisions, that they had no control over. That is such a dream of mine, to be able to incorporate my music to inspire kids. I have just such a big heart for our youth, especially our youth who have parents who have been incarcerated or have addiction issues. Like that's just I want to encourage and inspire that generation. So yeah, that's my dream, is to be able to do music for a living and help, especially that group of people that I don't feel like get the help they need.
I think you're well on your way.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming back. I
can't wait to sing for you.
I know, I'm excited too. But I'm really glad to have you back, and it's just great to have you at such a better setting.
Yeah.
So,
go team.
Go team. So, until another experience, Shanna Henderson, Chris Burkmenn, signing out.